Good afternoon. It's the Kickoff match which spotlights the top of the First Division. From Anfield, we've Liverpool against Arsenal, who've already met twice in the past week in a bid to reach Wembley. And from Carrow Road, Liverpool's only challengers, Manchester United, looking for their 6th win in 7 games. United's hosts, Norwich City. And this afternoon, we welcome to the studio 2 men sharing the emotions of promotion and relegation with 3 weeks of the season to go. That's Manchester City's Dennis Stewart and from Blackburn Rovers, Duncan McKenzie. But the achievement we feel should take pride of place this weekend is the arrival at Wembley of Mossley, the Northern Premier League champions who qualified for the FA Trophy final yesterday by beating Boston United 3-2 on aggregate. Our congratulations to them. And so do our main match, Liverpool against Arsenal, arguably the 2 most disciplined sides in the First Division, and who are meeting for the 3rd time in 7 days. It's the sort of familiarity sure to frustrate the most experienced of players, and yet Liverpool have been able to produce 2 young reserves more than equal to the task. So before we join our match commentator, Gerald Sinstad, let's hear from the Liverpool manager, Bob Paisley, speaking before the match.
They did a tremendous job the other night, and Sammy and Colin did on Saturday. It's not the easiest of games to come in, semi-finals in the game. All professionals will tell you that. It's not good. The players know too much about each other, and this leads to a little bit of frustration. And this is why I said to the officials, I hope they're a little bit understanding. I mean, you don't ask for no favours, but just a little bit of understanding, because these people know so much about each other, and this tends to make it frustrating.
Liverpool's policy has always been to make the minimum of changes, and with their casualties still not available, it's the side that played at Villa Park on Wednesday. Steve Highway is the substitute. David Fairclough was the goal scorer at Villa Park. That was his 12th goal of the season from very limited opportunities. And Alan Sunderland's equaliser in that replay was his 27th in all competitions. But overall, it's an Arsenal team picked with half an eye on next Wednesday's game in Italy. The defence is the one that played at Villa Park, but Liam Brady, with a slight knee injury, and Graham Ricks, rested, are both absentees. Up front, well, there's still that formidable partnership of Sunderland and Stapleton. This is one of the deputies in midfield today, Steve Gatting. He's been with Arsenal since he left school. He's a younger brother of Mike, the Middlesex cricketer. And John Hollins also brought in today, of course, a very experienced footballer with 3 London clubs, first with Chelsea, then Queen's Park Rangers, and now Arsenal. And a big thrill too today for referee George Tyson from Sunderland. He's a substitute referee taking over from Derek Civil. Didn't know until Wednesday that he would be doing the game. It's his first ever visit to Anfield as a referee. If he hadn't been in charge this afternoon, then he would have been doing a Parks game up on the northeast. And the players having a bit of trouble keeping the ball stationary on the centre spot as Mr. Tyson makes his final checks. It's a pretty windy afternoon, but as you see, beautiful sunshine and strong shadows, which may cause a problem or 2 for us. Liverpool in the all-red strip, Arsenal in their change colours, light tops and dark shorts. There's Price, Sunderland, Hansen, Young's header out for Arsenal. Johnson hunting, but he won't get anything out of that. This is Walford. Thompson. Arsenal, I'm sure, will be expecting a siege, but they're a team who've played through a few in their time. It's Irwin playing it in. Dalglish. Johnson, perhaps a little bit disconcerted. The ball may well have moved a bit in the wind. Hollins now with the throw for Arsenal. Thompson. It's Gatting's header. And we've now got green smoke drifting right across in front of Pat Jennings' goalmouth. Somebody from the Kop end has thrown a smoke bomb, and that we can really do without. Referee walking cautiously across to have a look at it. He clearly can't go on with the game while that's smoking itself out. Well, they've smothered it and removed it now. Thompson, Souness, Irwin, Fairclough, Kennedy, Johnson, Dalglish, but the formidable frame of Willie Young was in the way of that. Now it's Sunderland for Arsenal. Talbot robs Hansen, Kennedy to the rescue, Talbot threads it out to Sunderland. Talbot again. The attacks really are not very well supported from midfield, and it looks very much as though Arsenal have come for a point and just will hope to steal the second if they can. Early days, of course, to talk about playing for a point at Anfield with only 11 minutes gone. Souness. Irwin. Dalglish and Fairclough in the middle, but that was a header away by O'Leary. Souness. Irwin. Dalglish to Kennedy and back again. And Dalglish goes through and scores! Now that has made a different game of it. Now that is exactly what Liverpool needed early in the game. Dalglish taking the return pass, holding off two challenges, and through he goes, and that's 1-0. Kenny Dalglish, goal number 21 this season. So that virtually compels Arsenal now to push a few more men forward. Young. O'Leary. And O'Leary deciding that discretion was the better part of valour. It's in the sun and the wind. Sunderland got it. And then Hansen came in hard on Stapleton. Walford, chased by Lee, and he'll have to hustle. And away goes Lee, but Walford has long legs and a quick turn. And he's given it to Dalglish. Johnson could have taken more time with that. Jennings was a long way out of goal. Arsenal still haven't got it clear because Neil plays it up to Lee. Lee in, and Hollins is there, and Walford has given it away again. Neil, Johnson will chase it out. He's got support from Kennedy. Maybe Arsenal are marshalled now. And there's a chance for Hollins to clear, and he gives it away. And Arsenal seem to have lost all their composure at the back. Fairclough. Good turn. Hollins winning it from Souness' challenge. Talbot. Price. Johnson. Fairclough is in the middle. Johnson has stumbled and lost it. But Dalglish. Irwin. Lee with space. Johnson's header. Just took it over them all. He had Fairclough and Dalglish behind him. But the way that Arsenal were giving the ball away there, both with and without pressure, was really alarming for the London side. "15 minutes we've been playing. It's Liverpool 1, Arsenal 0. Price. Young. Talbot. Dalglish. And that's one for Gatting. Young. Talbot. Sunderland didn't do what he intended, but got a second chance. Hollins. Stapleton gets a free kick for Arsenal because of handball by Colin Irwin. And Stapleton really was not doing much more, I think, than trying to hold the ball up while some support arrived. Hollins playing it in. Header down by Thompson for Kennedy. Lee. Neal. Kennedy. It's nicely waited for Irwin. And Johnson coming for the header. Jennings punch. Dalglish is robbed, and it's out for a throw. But it's one-way traffic at Anfield in this first 20 minutes. Kennedy. Souness and Kennedy again. Irwin. Fairclough. No offside flag. Corner. David Fairclough attacking down right and left and causing problems on both sides. Dalglish with the corner. Just Fairclough for Liverpool in the 6-yard area, but plenty just outside it. Over comes that corner in the wind, and Stapleton gets it away. Souness. Dalglish. Dalglish gets it over, and Fairclough is in. Irwin off the bar. Dalglish, and it's a goal kick. And Colin Irwin was very close to his third goal of the season there. Right foot, and it needed only to have been a couple of inches lower. Really was skidding about all over that 6-yard area. Fairclough didn't get a touch. Irwin coming in and sees it come back off the bar, and then it was Dalglish who turned it just wide. Sun posing problems when that long ball comes through the air from Jennings, but so far Liverpool have been really under remarkably little pressure at that end. Gatting. And that's offside by Talbot. Irwin. Fairclough. Taking on Rice and crossing early. And that was Young stretching out a toe. It really wasn't very far wide of his own post. A yard maybe, not much more. Cross struck in low from Fairclough, and Willie Young just put out a foot, really didn't know where it was going. Corner struck in, oh, and against the post, off an Arsenal defender. Corner came over, and I think it was Walford who got the touch, high up by the angle. Now it's Stapleton, and Arsenal stay only one down. Stapleton fouled by Neal. O'Leary is up to support the strikers, and Young gets up for the header, but it's 2 feet over the bar. Willie Young's header coming to nothing for Arsenal. Over it comes, and over the top goes the header. Kennedy raking the angled crossover. Walford's header into no man's land. Hollins couldn't get a toe to it. Dalglish couldn't find an angle for a shot. Here's Johnson. Kennedy taking it up and crossing hard and low. That was cleared by Price. Souness hits it and hits it wide. Pressure again. But the final shot from Graham Souness flashing wide. Turned away by Price. And then Souness on the volley. Kept it down well, but couldn't get it on target. Gatting free over on this near touchline. Talbot has delayed until now. There isn't much on for him to turn it back for Hollins. And now they're caught offside. Arsenal back four just sat up and waited for Arsenal to make their own problem there. The Liverpool back four pushing up and the Arsenal midfield crowding up on the front runners. Foul picked up by the referee, Willie Young on David Johnson. One of those little nudges that defenders try to get away with when they think that the referee may be obscured. And it could prove costly because it's certainly in a very threatening position. Neil has gone to join the wall as he did when Liverpool had a free kick from a similar position earlier in the half. Souness will take the kick and hits it over the top this time, but I think we may have to take it again because the referee is not satisfied that everybody was back 10 yards. Mr. Tyson insisting. I think Sunderland probably was the player who broke. He's usually the one who's on tiptoe, straining to get out. Quite legitimate, of course, to try to get there once the ball has been played, but not before. Now soon, and again he's going to have it taken. And I wonder how long he is prepared to tolerate it without getting out his book. Persistent infringement if they won't get back the 10 yards, and Mr. Tyson is determined that they shall. Still not satisfied. Hollins it is who is trying to get his teammates back. Souness strikes it again and again hits the wall. Well, he can't complain, 3 shies and doesn't get anything. It's fair enough. Offside now. Young to Rice. He's taken this up to within 2 minutes of half-time. Some under pressure from Sunderland, who had a hand on his shoulder. Irwin. Kennedy. Very neatly done to work themselves out of the pressure on the touchline. Hansen to Johnson. Dalglish coming out of the middle to take a short pass, but Liverpool making progress without him. Irwin into Dalglish now. And Dalglish testing O'Leary with those darting turns and stops. Then he finds Souness. Souness flicking it on, and Neil tried to bend one high into the top corner, but overdid it. The build-up was lovely. Some very typical skills from Kenny Dalglish, dancing and testing his man there, and then a very precise pass and a nice flick from Souness. Only the final shot going adrift. O'Leary showing that he can turn with the ball himself, but then losing it to Lee. Offside. Oh, really can't be from there, it has to be in their own half. So we're into the time that Mr. Tyson is adding on, and there's not going to be very much of that because there is the half-time whistle. Very satisfactory for Liverpool. Kenny Dalglish's goal separating the teams, and I suppose the only question that Liverpool will ask themselves in the dressing room at half-time is whether they shouldn't have scored more goals. But there may well be more to come, so join us again in a few moments for the second half. Arsenal then to attack the Kopp goal to our right in the second half. 45 minutes left, in which Liverpool can take a very important step further forward towards winning the championship. Been leading the table since the first week in December, and the match is now gradually beginning to dwindle away. Remarkable how close their duels with Arsenal have been over the years, not just over this last 7 days. They've been playing each other since 1893, and if Liverpool win today, they will be level with 47 victories apiece. Walford's throw, Sunderland flicking it on. Stapleton getting it back off Hansen. And a flicked header by Sunderland, caught by Ray Clements, and that really is just about the first save that Clements has had to make. 1 minute into the second half. Irwin. O'Leary safely to Jennings. Fairclough. Johnson, the pass was too tight, but Johnson may still get in. Oh, Jennings nipping out smartly. Was watching all that from the edge of the 6-yard area, and it was just a quick little sprint to pick up. Foul given against Sunderland on Irwin. Price beating Fairclough, but it's still a Liverpool ball. Leary's header intercepted by Dalglish. Souness kept it down but wide. Graham Souness has not had much luck with his shooting this season. Only 2 goals. And Dalglish gives him a chance here. Keeps it down well. Very easy to get under those, but gets it wide. Owen to Kennedy. Kennedy to Dalglish. And Dalglish tries to curl one. Some goalkeepers can be caught by those, but Pat Jennings read it with ease and made it look very easy indeed. It's the anticipation. Once it had been anticipated, it wasn't a difficult catch. Walford upfield, header by Neal, interception by Price. Lee jumping, who must be the smallest man on the field. And that was a high boot from Young, which gives a free kick to Liverpool. Souness, Neal, Thompson. Souness again. Fairclough, and Fairclough almost got it over the top. In fact, did get it over the top of Jennings, but got it also over the bar. Very deftly done on the turn. Good left foot effort. Wouldn't dip soon enough for him. David Fairclough, whose 12 goals have been scored in 20 appearances this season, of which 11 are as substitute. It's a remarkable record. Steering it back to Clements. Fairclough with two Arsenal defenders having collided with each other, left on the floor. Fairclough went on for the shot, but the shot was well wide and it didn't trouble Jennings. Liverpool getting a little bit frustrated by their failure to find a second goal. I think this was a bit over-optimistic by Fairclough, and you can see it's all of 5 yards wide. David Johnson is going to come off, and Steve Highway will take his place. So there'll be no more chance this afternoon for David Johnson to add to his 24 goals this season. Steve Highway will see if he can get one for the first time since November 78, although of course in recent times his first team opportunities have been very limited. Young, Gatting, Stapleton. Sunderland is over on the far side, and Stapleton was going well until Souness stopped him at the expense of a corner. Been playing very nearly 75 minutes, and this is Arsenal's first corner, and that is perhaps a relevant statistic. Wind stretching up that flag and making it easy for Price to keep the ball stationary. It's not a bad corner. Punch from Clements with Young right on top of him. Souness on for Dalglish. Dalglish turning back inside, but Hollins was watching him, and a foul has been given. Hollins didn't think so, nor indeed did Sunderland. Mr. Tyson firm in his decision. Lee crossing. It's come out to Kennedy. Hansen. Fairclough didn't get his kick in, and Young gets the ball back to Jennings. Young and Highway going up together, and then Lee tries one. Well, that was a bit more like it from Sammy Lee. 30 yards out, Sammy Lee. But when the ball came to him, didn't hesitate. Highway went up for the header, and then right foot on the volley from Lee, but Jennings well behind him. Stapleton trying to nod it on for Sunderland, and Sunderland turning it back, and there's the equaliser, and that's the danger that's been there all the time. Talbot has got the goal, and it is now 1-1. Well, that has always been the danger. Talbot just stooping for the glancing header, and it is now 1-1 with 11 minutes to go, and Arsenal will feel completely vindicated by their policy. Paul Vasson, meanwhile, waiting to come on. Bob Paisley, I'm sure, will be mortified by that. Frank Stapleton is the player who has gone off, and Paul Vasson, the substitute, who's come on, and that surely now will give a bit of edge to this last 11 minutes or so. Rice geeing his side up to hang on now. Hollins, and here's Talbot, the goal scorer. Talbot, the only man who's played in all Arsenal's matches this season. This is his 59th game. Young. Lee. Young. Kennedy. Fairclough. Rice. And kept in play by Fairclough. Here's Highway. Can Liverpool now inject the urgency and the finishing that they need in the penalty area? Dalglish couldn't turn on it. He was smothered. Everybody back then for Arsenal. All 11 well back in their own half. Neal, support from Thompson. Walford, Vasson. And a foul on Vasson by Neal. Arsenal free kick. Talbot couldn't take it with him. And that's a goal kick. After this match, Liverpool have only one home game, that's against Aston Villa, to go away to Stoke, Crystal Palace and Middlesbrough. One minute to go as Thompson hoiks the ball upfield. Young, and not even given the minute. Well, it's only 44 minutes on our watches, but the final result is a 1-1 draw. Kenny Dalglish having given Liverpool the lead in the 11th minute, and then 11 minutes from the end, Brian Talbot pops up with the goal that keeps the championship well in the melting pot still.
And for the second successive match, Liverpool are unable to hold on to a 1-goal lead against Arsenal. Well, afterwards, it was Gerald Sinstad who sought the opinions of the men involved. And first of all, he spoke to the Liverpool fullback, Phil Neal.
Phil, would you put that down as one of your most disappointing performances of the season?
Probably in the second half, Gerald, yeah. We put a lot of effort into the first half, and I thought we played as well as we've played for quite a while. But it all seemed to go dead in the second half, and like I say, they snatched the equaliser in the end, and we were a bit disappointed with the second half display.
Why did you lose your grip?
Who knows? It's just the thing. It just went dead. I don't know whether it was just through the semi-final in midweek and just tiredness setting in, Gerald. I don't know, but we certainly lost it a little bit.
Are you beginning to feel that it's getting to be an effort to get through 90 minutes?
Not really, no. I think when you've played two semi-finals in a week and play the same team on the Saturday, then it's, if you put in the effort in the first half as we did, then mentally you're jaded if you haven't got the goals in the net, which we hadn't. We'd only got the one, and we probably deserved probably a couple in the first half, and that would have taken the pressure off completely. But we didn't get the goals, and we paid for it in the end.
Well, now let's hear the Arsenal view from Terry Neal, surely relieved at the result after absorbing so much pressure in the first half.
On one hand, obviously not very happy because we hadn't performed in the first half. And yet, at the same time, we'd given away a silly goal and really been in no great danger in terms of conceding another one, despite all the pressure that Liverpool had.
What do you think changed it in the second half?
A little bit of a chat at half-time, probably, and...
Now we need to know what you said then.
I think, no, the players themselves realised that they could, and they had to lift it a little bit. We didn't play out of our skins in the second half either, but it was enough, really. to get us a draw.
That sounds as though you think that...
And now round 4 of the great Liverpool-Arsenal saga. Their second FA Cup semi-final replay can be seen at Villa Park a week on Monday. And before that, Arsenal play Juventus in Italy, the second leg of their European Cup Winners' Cup semi-final. Well, we'll be turning the focus back on the First Division Championship race a little later on in the programme with the action from Manchester United's game at Norwich City. But let's get up to date now with the rest of the news from the First Division and from the Second Division as well, with Manchester City's Dennis Stewart. And obviously, Dennis, well satisfied with your result yesterday against Bristol City.
Very much, Elton. And the unbeaten run we've had over the last 6 games has really taken the pressure off. And of course, what was really important yesterday was that we beat one of our fellow strugglers. The first half was probably the best 45 minutes that we've produced since I returned from America. Our early passing was the most pleasing thing about it. And of course, we were able to settle down early on with Mike Robinson scoring after 12 minutes. The confidence spread throughout the team from then on, and we were well worth further goals by Kazi Dana and myself, a header no less. In the second half, we struggled to keep it flowing, but even though they pulled one back, there was never any danger of us throwing away the lead. So things are looking considerably brighter for us, and I'm sure we're safe. But over at Everton, it's been a disastrous week. Knocked out of the FA Cup semi-final in midweek, and another bad defeat yesterday, 3-0 at Spurs. The reality of their league position certainly isn't lost on manager Gordon Lee, who said after the game, "Last week we were on the edge of greatness. Now we're sloppy and tired." There could be more trouble for Everton, and Brian Kidd in particular. He faces an FA disciplinary commission on Wednesday, having reached 40 points this season. In Kiddo's case, I think it's his over-enthusiasm that gets him to so much hot water. I spoke to him after he'd been sent off against West Ham, and he feels that most of his problems now are caused by a reputation he doesn't deserve. You've got to respect the attitude of the Bolton players recently. They must have accepted relegation as inevitable a long time ago, but have still produced good quality football and some impressive results. They came from behind yesterday to beat Stoke 2-1. They've got a lot of promising youngsters, which must give them hope for next season. Mike Carter in particular impressed me when we played them 3 weeks ago, and he got one of Bolton's goals yesterday. Neil Watmore scored the winner. Brian Clough's Nottingham Forest looked to have doomed his former club Derby to relegation by beating them 1-0. Bristol City looks certain for that other relegation place. One player getting a lot of attention in the second division is Simon Stainrod of Oldham. Bill Taylor, the Oldham coach whose opinion I respect, certainly rates Stainrod very highly, and Stainrod got the goal that beat Shrewsbury. Preston drew 2-2 at Orient with goals from Paul McGee and Steve Elliott, and Burnley lost again 3-1 at Cambridge despite taking the lead through Billy Hamilton. Burnley and Charlton discovered yesterday who will accompany them into Division 3. It's Fulham who lost 4-0 at Watford. I can't understand why Wrexham have had such a miserable second half of the season. I saw them twice over Christmas and was very impressed. But yesterday they lost again 1-0 at home to Leicester. That win puts Leicester in a very strong position for promotion. I fancy my former club Sunderland to join them with the remaining place between Chelsea and Birmingham. Games in hand are so important here, and Birmingham appear to have the easier run in.
Well, thanks, Dennis. Still to come on the kick-off match, the action from Norwich City, where Manchester United were the visitors, and, of course, our competition snapshot. But right now, let's turn to the third division and Sheffield Wednesday against Chester. And in view of Sheffield's crunch game against Blackburn on Tuesday night, victory was absolutely vital for them. Well, the goal highlights come from Yorkshire Television. The commentator is Martin Tyler. Sheffield Wednesday are in the striped shirts.
Derek Jeffries for Rayner. Keith Fear getting a touch, and then Rush. This is nicely worked by Chester. Fear's shot at the end off the target, but it was interestingly built up. All coming from the short free kick. Fear guiding it on, and look at this for a lovely layoff by Ian Rush. And Fear left with room to shoot, putting it too high. Sutcliffe, away from Mark Smith. Good control from King to find Curran. Johnson inside him, and he's looking for Grant. Forward it goes again in the direction of McCulloch. Again makes something of it. Mistake though by Jones. And it's Jim Walker who has to concede the corner. All stemming from Brinley Jones, who had a chance to clear the ball for Chester. Mellor will take the corner. King darting towards the near post. Smith on the far post, beaten by Jeffries. Chester pushing out, and Grant trying to spring the trap, and he's done so well. Setting it up for King! Well, a quite unbelievable miss from King. He was stretching, but great inventiveness from David Grant, who decided that the other players ahead of him were going to be caught offside. And so the miss is incidental. 36 minutes. Andy McCulloch for Sheffield Wednesday. McCulloch coming to collect the long throw from Blackhall. Johnson's touch, then Taylor, then Mellor, and Curran. Well, he stretched to reach the ball and get in a shot that seemed to surprise Millington. Coming from the set piece, with McCulloch again playing a part, although not quite the header that he intended. It was Johnson who won it back again for Wednesday, then Taylor forward again, then Mellor, before it finally came down for Curran to stretch and turn it just wide of the post. Staunton then with the free kick. And Henderson, brilliant save! The substitute thought he'd scored then. Well, Bob Boulder hasn't had to deal with any real direct threats, but when this shot came, really a bolt from the blue, marvellous reactions from him to pluck that one out of the air from Henderson. Staunton. Jones. Curran having to do McCulloch's job at the moment, but this is more what Terry Curran is all about. Only Millington to beat, and the goal for Taylor. "16 minutes left, and Curran accepts the congratulations as he finally fought free of the shackles, got away from Rayner and just seemed to have overrun it as Millington came out, but got a touch, and all credit to Kevin Taylor, who'd kept running for just that sort of situation. Here's Johnson. McCulloch will still chase. And power his way into the area, and blocked again by Millington. And but for the goalkeeper, could be a far more emphatic win for Sheffield Wednesday. McCulloch explaining his thoughts to Curran, who he was trying to find a penetrating break, and Curran was already hidden by the defender. Fear. Now Sutcliffe. Taylor tackling back. Here's Mellor. Curran trying to stay onside, and he accomplished it so well. In against Millington. Can he put the seal on it for Sheffield Wednesday? And what a moment for Terry Curran. The idol of Hillsborough takes a final bow and enjoys the joke with Millington, who did his best when he was totally exposed, but the timing of the pass from Ian Mellor was all crucial. And Curran clearly onside, and from then on, the man who has been so sure in front of goal this season, that's number 24.
So, Sheffield Wednesday winning 3-0 and keeping the pressure right on Blackburn Rovers, who also won yesterday by 4-2 against Reading. And with his assessment of that match, along with other news from the 3rd and the 4th divisions, we welcome Blackburn's Duncan McKenzie. And I believe, Duncan, you were slightly overshadowed yesterday, weren't you, by Andy Crawford?
That's right, Elton. A superb hat-trick against Reading at Ewood Park brought Andy's total of goals for the season to 21. Tony Parks completed the scoring for a reassuring 4-2 win after a disappointment of last week when our unbeaten run ended. Obviously, with our match against Sheffield Wednesday only 2 days away, it was very important that we bounce back like this. And just having seen Wednesday against Chester, we know they will be formidable opposition. Incidentally, 25,000 tickets have been sold already for Tuesday night's game. It's still very tight at the top as all 4 contenders gained convincing wins yesterday. Grimsby beat Oxford 2-0 and must be favourites now to go up as champions, but the rest of us have games in hand over them. Chesterfield, the 4th contenders, beat struggling Bury 2-0 and unfortunately pushed their victims perilously close to Division 4. Blackpool must feel disappointed after a late goal from Mansfield's Kevin Bird robbed them of a point at Bloomfield Road. Paul Fletcher opened the scoring in the first half and there was only 4 minutes to go when Bird struck. But that point takes Blackpool out of the bottom 4 while Bury must be hoping that their games in hand prove to be their salvation. Now on into the 4th Division. Wigan gained a point at Northampton where David Shearer scored again. Both the goals came in the last 5 minutes. Wigan have again had a good season but are unfortunately too far behind now to cap it with promotion. Crewe kept alive their hopes of creeping out of the bottom 4 with a 1-0 win over Stockport County. Peter Coyne provided the game's only goal 8 minutes into the second half. Finally, Tranmere faced a miserable trip home after going down by 3-1 at Torquay. John Kerr scored the goal that salvaged some pride for the men from Birkenhead.
Well, thanks very much indeed, Duncan. Now let's hear the details of this week's Snapshot competition from Gerald Sinstad.
First, a reminder of the pictures we showed you a fortnight ago. I'm not sure if it was the face, the kilt, or the clue about trying and trying again, but you seem not to have had too much difficulty in recognising Alex Bruce, who went to Newcastle United from Preston North End and is now back again at Deepdale. The first 5 correct entries we drew came from Anthony Lofthouse of Todmorden, Andrew Walker from Northenden, Neil Spruce, who lives at Walton, Frank Law from Preston, and A.C. Walmsley, who wrote from Worsley. And if you were not among the lucky ones there, here's another chance. All you need to do is look carefully at this youngster who headed south to head for the top. I'm sure now you'll have a good idea who it is, so answers on postcards please to Snapshot, Kickoff Match, Granada Television, Manchester 3. Snapshot, Kickoff Match, Granada Television, Manchester 3. And in case you win, remember to say whether you take a large, medium or small T-shirt.
Thanks, Gerald. No clues this week, except that our mystery footballer isn't Duncan McKenzie, nor is it Dennis Stewart. Well, at this stage, let me tell you about a full week of sport coming up on ITV. On Wednesday at 10:30, you can see exclusive coverage of one of the night's top European games. On Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, there's midweek racing from Epsom. And then on Friday, of course, at 10:30, there is Kickoff. Well, now part 2 of what's developing into a fascinating championship race between Liverpool and Manchester United. Having seen Liverpool's draw with Arsenal earlier, let's now go over to Carrow Road, where anything less than both points would have been a disappointment to United. The game was covered by Anglia Television. Jerry Harrison is the commentator. United are in the dark shirts.
There's Bailey. Jordan and Jones. Played by Jordan, trying to find Koppel here, and down he goes fairly spectacularly as Peters picks up and runs into trouble. Koppel now trying to turn Simmons in for McElroy in a good position. Well saved. McElroy coming through as he does so dangerously from midfield, picks up that space in the penalty area, and that was a very, very good chance and an excellent save. Nicely worked by Koppel, who spotted him. Didn't take long to line that one up, and good work by Hansbrough. Corner then. This time Manchester United mostly staying outside the box, leaving a bit of space for the ball and themselves to move into. 5th corner, and it's Koppel's. Powerful volley there from Joe Jordan. But well wide. Excellent save by Roger Hansbury after the game had lulled and died a little bit. Fashanu going to cover the back pass, forcing Nicol to turn, and it's United's throw for Ritchie. And into the path of Wilkins. Jordan going to the near post. Gracious me. Jones almost did the job for him. Well, they're enjoying it, but another couple of inches to the left and they wouldn't be laughing. Well, that was in fact touched back by a Norwich player to Wilkins, and the ball into the near post. Jones is there to cut it out. Oh. Another corner, again from that side. Jordan is in there, and it's Jones to clear. Ritchie with a bit of space, but not for long. Simmons, Hansbury's come to help him. Robson couldn't judge that one. Peters couldn't get hold of that either. And now Manchester United are looking better. It's Nicol with Wilkins down there, pursued by Padden. Thomas, Ritchie and Jordan in the middle. Linesman's flag was going a bit. Moran thumping one in, away by Mendham. Moran can have that again. Whacked by Fashanu. Jordan out here with Jones. Good challenge though by McDowell. No, he doesn't like. The referee doesn't like the challenge. He read it pretty well, I thought, but he obviously thought he was too high. Free kick to United. Moran is coming up. Jordan, of course, is at the back of the box. Ritchie just in front. Jordan's the back man. Ritchie making a run to the front of the box. In comes Jordan now. Simmons. And a corner. Jordan leaning on Simmons, nothing much he could do much there. Seventh corner. Koppel to knock it in. Wind causing problems for everyone. McElroy had a little dig, but the ball, in fact, was in the hands of the goalkeeper. Floated into the space. Players coming in to meet it. Good effort by the centre-half Moran. Smothered by the goalkeeper, and then McElroy went in. A bit too quick there from Wilkins. But the pace of the game has hotted up a little bit. Well played by McDowell. Drives one in, deflected. Well held in the end. That was a fine effort, and probably Norwich did his best, but now they've got problems at the other end. Jordan with Ritchie coming to the near post, and Koppel's back there. Well held again by Hansbury. Well, that's more like it. Well, the crowd enjoyed that, and particularly the run by McDowell from a distance. Whacks one, deflected. The goalkeeper had to change his angle and held it well. McDowell forward, Fashanu in here, protecting it well and being fouled by Kevin Moran. And within 2 minutes of the start of the second half, Fashanu has shown a couple of good touches against Moran. Now McDowell trying to put one into space. Fashanu's in there! That was a chance. Definite chance of Mickey Thomas. You could tell by his face as he turned away that he thought it was a chance, and a let-off. Nicely played by John McDowell. In comes Fashanu. Good leap, but wide. Peters. Buchan. Mendham. Jordan coming onto that one. Norwich getting the bird a little bit here, but it's not easy to work it out of defence against this wind. Moran. McDowell, Peters, and into the path of Ritchie. Good drive, and now it's Jordan. Joe Jordan beats Hansbury. Manchester United take the lead. Well, they battled for that in midfield, and it fell, fortunately, in some ways, to Andy Ritchie. But having fallen for him, he made it count. A good drive, a good save, but here's Jordan, and he makes no mistake. Although Hansbury almost got an arm to it. So it's 1-0 to Manchester United. Joe Jordan goes into double figures for goals this season. The goal that the supporters so desperately wanted, the United supporters anyhow, and now they celebrate. And in some ways, it was a goal that the game needed. But certainly Norwich City have got a few problems now. Manchester United not the sort of side to hang on to a lead, but it'll give them that extra yard of speed and that extra ability to keep going. Woods, and there's a bit more spice in this one immediately. Robson knocking it back to McDowell. Ricky Thomas didn't get it. Thomas is hurt now. Ritchie, Woods and Fashanu battling there, and now it's Peters. Trying to lob the goalkeeper, didn't quite get enough power. Well, Peters found himself in an excellent position there. Fashanu helping with that header, and now he's trying to get it over the top and doesn't succeed. Well won by Ritchie, and McDowell can make a bit of progress down this right-hand flank. Looking for Fashanu, nice flick. Ritchie, but Nightingale now. Referee waves play on, but it really wasn't to Norwich City's advantage. Here comes Moran now. Behind him he's got McElroy, through the middle goes Mickey Thomas, with Ritchie coming towards Moran here. Good turn, and Ritchie's in. Off it goes. The goalkeeper again, I suppose, coming out in the sweeper role, but this time obviously well inside the penalty area. But Ritchie made a very good position for this, and having got the space, he was able to turn and get away from his man, but not from Hansbury. There goes Woods. Well played by Nicol. So what can Norwich City produce in this last 9 minutes? Still, obviously, with the wind blowing strongly in Manchester United's favour. Short of a defender at the back now. It's Ritchie trying to turn. Fortunate break he got, and Thomas can't get there. Well, I know. And here comes a shot from fullback, and it's Thomas again who couldn't quite get there. Nicol looked to be in the better position, but Thomas, who's covered so much ground, was about a couple of inches away from being in a goal-scoring position twice. Well, certainly the ball ran fortunately for Manchester United in this particular position. Ritchie dummied. In fact, it came off his ankle, and he couldn't put it into the path of Thomas. Wyndham again. Jordan out for Ritchie. Behind him is Koppel. Well won by Simmons. Well, it's going to have been a good battle. haven't been many chances. But at the moment it's United hanging on to that one goal and breaking forward here with the all-action Mickey Thomas. Back for Arthur Alverston, and there's a chance here, and deflected in by Jordan. And that certainly wraps the game up. Off his knee, but it doesn't matter. And Thomas, as he has done throughout the game, worked for this patiently to Alverston, then suddenly he's deep into the Norwich penalty area, just a touch, and Hansbury can't get it. Should he have come for it? So that's 2-0 to Manchester United. It's 2 goals for Joe Jordan, and we're now just into injury time, so that means a win for United.
And as a result of that 2-0 win, United are now just 1 point behind Liverpool, who have a game in hand and superior goal difference. The remaining matches for both clubs include 3 away games for Liverpool. United have 3 games left, with 2 of them at Old Trafford. Well, a final word from the two of you. How do you see the League Championship race developing now? First, Dennis.
I think with the Liverpool fixtures that they have, 3 away games, I think at this particular stage United are the closest they're going to get this season. But I still tip Liverpool.
Duncan?
Well, I think the injuries that have been sustained at Liverpool are going to be critical to them. And I'm going to go for the fairy tale, really, and I'm going to tip Manchester United. I think they'll just pip them at the death.
Really? Well, thanks very much, both of you, for joining. Have you enjoyed yourselves?
I had a great time.
Nerve-wracking up, but very nice.
Maybe you'll give me a game one day.
Yeah.
Thanks very much indeed. Well, that's about the end of the programme. Our thanks again to Dennis Stewart and to Duncan McKenzie for their very valuable assistance. We'll leave you this afternoon with a couple of views from the man who's made Liverpool's ambitions of retaining the title all the more difficult, Arsenal's Brian Talbot. From all of us here, good afternoon.
Goal for Arsenal, actually. Been there a long while now. It was nice to see it go in. It was a good cross from Alan Sunderland, and I got in between the defenders and knocked it past Ray Clements, and I was pleased to see it go in.
Stapleton trying to nod it on for Sunderland, and Sunderland turning it back, and there's the equaliser, and that's the danger that's been there all the time. Talbot has got the goal, and it is now 1-1.
I honestly don't think that Manchester United can catch them now. I don't feel that they'll drop enough points for other people to catch them, and I think that Liverpool will be champions